Hi guys, JT here, and today I'll be bringing you some information on the Humble Bundle Career Break Bundle of August 2022 to help you answer the question, should you buy it? If you want to know more about game deals, then feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It really helps the channel out. So let's get into this. At number 1, we have Parkitect, a business simulation game. As a kid, you probably have this fantasy of creating your own theme park. With Parkitect, you can now live out that dream without the risk of losing your business to lockdowns. Remember those? Ugh. In Parkitect, you will start managing your park by first constructing it, building pathways to your wonderful rides, constructing said rides piece by piece, painting them however you like, all the way through to deciding where trees and benches go. For the campaign, you are tasked with building a theme park with the ultimate goal of achieving the required visitors. Each level throws a different challenge and map at you, but the campaign is really just a precursor to the sandbox mode where you can freely build your own theme park. That's where the fun is. You can even build underground if you so please. If you can't be bothered building your roller coaster piece by piece, there are plenty of community builds out there that you can choose to plonk on your theme park. Once you have built your theme park, sit back and watch the money roll in. And if you want to be a total jerk to your visitors, you can choose to deconstruct the structures as they are on the structure itself, and watch them fall to the ground or water and die. Some minor complaints in this game is that sometimes you can't quite see exactly where or how high you are placing your building block, which can be quite frustrating. Other than that, this is a pretty cool game, reminiscent to the classic roller coaster tycoon. If you're into spending hours on end building your perfect theme park while trying to resist the urge to send your visitors to their untimely death, then this is a game for you. At number 2, we have Dinosaur Fossil Hunter, a simulation game where you play a paleontologist, digging up, cleaning up, and displaying dinosaur fossils. Unlike most simulator games, Dinosaur Fossil Hunter actually has a story. You play as an experienced paleontologist recounting his past from his days as a novice paleontologist, from his interest in dinosaurs to fossil discovery. Like great inspirational stories, Dinosaur Fossil Hunter tells stories of success and failures that come with the job. Gameplay-wise, this game literally forces you to think and work like a real paleontologist. You have to pick the right tools and equipment to bring on your quest to uncover these fossils, pick the right vehicles to traverse through the rough terrains, and once you get there, you pull your scanner out and scan the ground for possible fossils. When it beeps, you start digging, like a real paleontologist. Do expect some false positives before you find any fossils. Once you have found your fossil, you may think that you're done, but no, you're not. Now you have to bring it back to your research tent to clean the fossil carefully while trying not to break them with your modern tools. Then you'll be assembling them to be displayed at your museum. You can set your fossils up like a diorama, which gives you a bit of a break from scanning, digging, and cleaning. You can have trees around the dinosaur or even water. The display possibilities are endless. And that's it! Then the loop repeats itself again, and again, and again, which can get quite boring, which is the big issue with this game. The repetitiveness. However, if you want to experience what it's like to be a paleontologist, or if you're a retired paleontologist who wants to somewhat relive the experience, then Dinosaur Fossil Hunter is for you. At number 3, we have Project Hospital, a simulation and management game. If you've played 2 Point Hospital, then Project Hospital will be very familiar to you. They are very similar to each other, but each with their own styles. I would say that Project Hospital is more mature than 2 Point Hospital, and this comes down to the art style itself, with Project Hospital having more proportionate humans. In Project Hospital, you play several key roles, from being the architect and builder, building your own hospital, to being a doctor, diagnosing and treating each individual patient. In addition to that, you also manage the hospital's finances, meaning having to make sure that you have enough money to pay expenses and cover debts. There's a lot going on, that's for sure. You can get help from your other doctors to take over the diagnosing and treating part of the job though, thankfully, allowing you to focus on building, maintaining, and managing the ins and outs of your hospital. When this game was first released, it was marred with problems. But today, it is a more stable and complete product with much needed quality of life inclusions, like being able to undo your last action and being able to rotate your camera. If you're wondering why weren't they included in the original release, I mean, come on, it's developed by a small indie studio, give them a break. If you're into building, managing a hospital while also being able to play doctor and treat your virtual patients, then Project Hospital is an awesome game to play. And number 4, we have Airport CEO, a tycoon business management game where you play the boss. Your goal in Airport CEO is to develop a small airport and grow it into a big international airport, taking in flights from around the world and be the best airport there is, making sure your customers are satisfied while maximizing profits and controlling costs. Airport CEO will have you micromanage everything from where tarmacs are placed, toilets, baggage claim runs, contracts with different builders, suppliers, vendors, and airlines. It is not for the faint of heart, as there will be a lot of information to absorb every other minute and decisions to make based on that information. In fact, you don't want to miss the tutorials or risk being totally lost as to what to do in the game. Once you find your feet a little bit more though, you can start assigning tasks to your managers like a real CEO, so you can focus on other things that require your attention. Airport CEO is only for the most dedicated of simulation gamers with various complex moving parts that you need to work out. In fact, if you can't dedicate a lot of time learning the intricacies of running an airport, you probably won't enjoy this game. And number 5, we have Model Builder, a simulation game that tells you exactly what the game is about. Building plastic models. You can build a variety of models, from military planes, helicopters, tanks, trains, dragons, and various creatures like the good old days before computer games became widespread in homes. You can use a variety of tools to assist you in creating your models. Once it's built, you can paint them however you like or even use stickers on them to create your ideal plastic model. After painting them, you can choose to either sell them to raise some money for more tools or display them in your cabinet or a diorama. You can definitely get creative with it. Model Builder is an excellent game for a few kinds of people. People who want to relive the glory days of plastic model building, people who can afford to build plastic models because they cost a fortune these days, or younglings who never got the opportunity to build a plastic model. This game will give you a taste of what it's like. And number 6, we have Not Tonight, an alternate history simulation game set in post-Brexit Britain. In this game, the Brexit deal has gone totally wrong and a far-right government has taken over Britain. You play as an immigrant who struggles to make ends meet every day. You have to pull yourself out of your struggles by doing gigs around town, and this leads you to becoming a bouncer. Being a bouncer for a club, you have to decide if you let people into the club or not. At first it's simple, check their birthdays and make sure that they're over 18 to be allowed into the club. But these requirements quickly add up later on, like making sure that their IDs are still valid, check if their IDs are fake, etc, etc. There are even times when you have to deny entry just because people of a specific country cannot come into the club that night. In addition to that, you also need to make sure that enough people are able to get into the club so the club can make money that night. At the end of each night, you're paid based on your performance, which you can then use to purchase upgrades to your apartment or new tools to fend off unruly guests. This game really reminds me of Papers, Please, as you'll be doing a lot of document checking, although in a smaller scale, into a club as opposed to across international borders. If you're into document checking games with some political stories, then Not Tonight could be fun for you. And number 7, we have Little Big Workshop, a simulation game where you play as a factory owner. As the factory owner, you have to first build your factory, then decide if you want to take on contract work, building specific things, or go the free market route, where you build whatever is in demand and sell them. This game is all about making things as efficient as possible. Not having enough of a specific equipment will slow down production and cause a queue in the manufacturing process, which means you may miss your contract's deadline as an example. Other problems that you may have is not having enough rest areas for your hardworking employees, or not having a good-looking workshop which will negatively affect their productivity. If your employees don't get enough rest, you may find them sprawled in the middle of the production floor, unable to work until they get enough rest. The graphics and characters are really cute, and watching them being unable to even move or get up may break your heart enough that you may start treating them better by providing them nice things and ensuring they get plenty of rest. If you're wanting to feel what it's like to run your own manufacturing factory, producing products, meeting deadlines, and taking care of your employees, Little Big Workshop is a great game to experience. And that is all, folks. This bundle is great if you want to escape your current job into another job for a little while. There are a couple of neat resource management games with some hardcore simulation games for you to sink your teeth in. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.